Weird history of Seattle. Seattle, a city known for its rain, coffee, and the iconic Space Needle. But dive a bit deeper, and you'll find a history that's as rich as it is downright odd. Today, we will unravel the weird history of Seattle. In the late 1800s, Seattle had a real problem. The city was built on mudflats, so every time it rained, it turned into a swamp. The solution? They decided to lift the entire city. Yes, the entire city. Imagine walking on sidewalks that were 15 feet above the ground because the streets were still at the original level. Businesses had to use ladders for their customers to climb down from the sidewalk to the entrance. But the weirdness doesn't stop there. During the gold rush, Seattle was known as the gateway to Alaska. A man named Erastus Brainerd saw a business opportunity there and started marketing Seattle as the only place to get supplies for gold mining. Brainerd's marketing was so successful that Seattle became the prime stop for prospectors, booming the city's economy. It was a marketing scam that actually worked and transformed Seattle into a bustling city. Now let's talk about the Great Seattle Fire of 1889. The entire business district was destroyed. But instead of seeing it as a disaster, the people of Seattle saw an opportunity. They used the fire to solve their swampy problem. They decided to rebuild the city over the old one, making the street level 1 or 2 stories higher than the original. This resulted in an underground city that you can still visit today as part of the Seattle Underground Tour. Speaking of the underground, did you know that Seattle was once overrun by rats? In the 1900s, the bubonic plague hit Seattle. The source was traced back to the rats living in the city's underground. This caused a citywide rat extermination program. The oddness of Seattle's history doesn't end with just raising cities and rat plagues. It's also home to the Mystery Soda Machine, a vintage Coke machine that no one seems to own or refill, but it never runs out of soda. Lastly, let's talk about the gum wall. In the heart of the city, you'll find an alleyway covered in used chewing gum. What started out as a quirky tradition in the 90s is now a popular, if somewhat grotesque, tourist attraction. So, there you have it, a glimpse into the weird history of Seattle. From lifting an entire city to marketing scams that worked wonders, to an underground full of rats, and walls adorned with used chewing gum. This city truly embraces the weird and the wonderful.